Alright. What the girl saw. Remove your ages, remove your ages, remove your ages. Mumble a little bit. So I snuck in the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always. By a vile waste of time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night. I tell ya, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. Then, after a while, I hear this loud bang, nearly jumped down my skin I did, and the scream just came out. It's because that this swell found me. He didn't help me get away, mind. Did you even understand what I just said? Yes, he let you go. I fail to understand why you would let the street urchin go, Mr. McGilded. Oh, tis simply to see itself, my lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. How? As I'm sure I've said before, sir. I was sitting right on top of the place where she was hiding herself. I think a demonstration is called for. This is where I was at that night. And the cubby hole of which you have spoken is underneath the seat, I presume? Oh, there he is. Yes, it does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature. Aye, but of course, the wee lass was stuck in there, because I'd parked myself on the seat for the duration. Oh! So you see, that's why I left the last bolt. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young life was ruined when all the time I knew she was innocent. Even though you must have realized your action would result in your own innocence being called into question? Not at all, my lord, not at all. I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So I thought it was worth taking a punt on my own good name for the sake of this less fortunate lass. My goodness. What a perfect gentleman. My lord, this fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir. Okay, thank you. Now everyone's on the not guilty side. Let's go. Although I feel kind of 50-50 on that. Oh, not yet. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Now we're on all not guilty. Thank you, juror number 4. Keep up the good work. Saints alive! All 6 members of the jury consensual in their leaning to a verdict of not guilty? Mr. Naruhodo, it must mean what? That we're victorious! Really? We've won? Are you sure? No, we're not. I'm sorry, I don't have a face cam. I don't have a camera, but I literally fell down on the floor. Okay, I'm good. Sorry. If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray, do forgive the discourtesy. Jesus. This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day. Emotion? The witness's last statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature. What do you mean, his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in the investigation. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report. Good Lord! The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGildered's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. What? This is where I remember when I got to this, there was like a sickening feeling inside me. Order! How could such a devious contrivance have been effected, Counsel? Effected? Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Well, my Nipponese friend. Me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail, as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Pray, what did you find the condition of this under-seat compartment to be? Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman. I got something stuck in my throat. One moment. Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman would be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry? Go ahead. Tell the court now, feller. How this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zeeks. Yeah, this is where it's like, it's one thing to have to be like, oh my god, someone tampered with it. Where we're like, also, oh my god, someone tampered with it. But then the person we're defending to be like, yeah, no one tampered with it. It wasn't tampered, right? Right? Like, it felt really... I wanted to vomit when I first got to this. Well, counsel, do you have something to say on this matter? How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat in the omnibus? Now, in this playthrough that I'm reading off of, they did not look. But if you did, it wasn't empty. Earlier, at least. Now it is. It is now. Earlier, it wasn't. Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we? The scene of the murder, it is horrible. Oh no, there's so many. Yeah. I'll leave this one for Arinos Gensis Hatasan. The seat has a handle, it seems. This is a storage compartment, but there's nothing in here. Totally empty. Excuse me. Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is. Yeah, common sense. Even if you hadn't checked earlier, it's a storage compartment. It should have things in it. Yes, I'm fairly sure it was empty. If I'm honest, my memory about this is all a little hazy. As I suspected, it seems, my lord, that this Eastern Initiate... What does that mean? That this Eastern Initiate has the scruples of a by-street wine merchant. God damn! Holy shit, Vance! Mr. Naruhodo! Perfect. This is why the feller is representing me, after all. He knows just what to say, does he not? Well now, it would seem the argument is moot, and the truth of the matter is for all to see here, after all. I stuttered so much. That there cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the devil heart. So it is. That we can be sure of, at least. Why? Why do I feel like something's not right here? Yeah, even if you're like, I didn't check it, it looks empty to me now, because I only checked now. McGilded, you're very bad at this. I should like the jury to weigh on this matter, I think. Juror number 5, got something to say? That compartment is designed to have special equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The Guild's rules state that omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times. So it certainly would haven't been empty on the night in question. Bepo isn't that irresponsible. That's money-lending fleecer and the pick purse are lying. Yeah, I mean, it's just common sense. Like, kind of like the jury's role here. Common sense. I can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, the lot of them. What? No. It's a trick! Of course it's a trick! Oh, juror number 3. I like you, but I also hate you, because you have that sprite of you licking your knife like a weirdo. Quite so. I must concur here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would probably vote. I would be like, no, this is a little sus. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Yes, but every time is a different truth, it seems. My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. Thank you, counsel. But before we proceed any further, there is a matter of an outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please. Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The rebirth of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. Honestly, yeah, like, you're trying to be like, man, Van Ziek's at it again. But, like, McGilded is so sus. Who the hell goes, It's so weird. Anyway. Yeah, I haven't listened. This is like the full recording. I haven't listened to what I sounded like when I did Gina's thing. I don't think you would understand me. I jumbled my words. And I do have an excuse for that. Gina is supposed to be a sea urchin. She has no formal education. And they tend to they speak roughly. That's my excuse for being a shitty voice actor. Alright. Hold it! And when Mr. McGilded discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place? I was scared stiff. I was. He dragged me out and sat me down on the ceiling roll. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason? Yeah. The bloke had a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. Then the carriage lurched a bit. He ended up falling onto me. God. How awful. No. Both my hands got covered in blood. It made me feel as sick as a dog. Both her hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passengers saw. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilded for a while. Is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Want to know my name and what I was up to and all that. Then I heard something from above. Someone screamed. Yes, Mr. First on the roof deck, one would presume. Well, I didn't want nothing. I didn't want no one seeing my face, so I didn't look up. Then the horses were drawn up smartish, and the Irishman says to me, "Get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later." All 6 members of the jury has decided the defendant was innocent. For one brief shining moment, yes. It's clear that they are all still very unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony, I'm sure we could clinch the verdict we want. Yes, I think you're right. And I have this niggling feeling, I don't know why we keep using that word, Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. It's the for sure. For me, that was what sealed it. I'm like, oh no, I think he did it. Like, there's a time and a place for a nefarious I think. Hold it. So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all? Not a jot. Most days I push the cushion up with me and look out on the crack. Then I can have a butcher's at it, who I'm gonna fiddle. I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher. I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get on the ain't as plush as the other one, you see. So most of the time, the passengers plan themselves opposite. Oh, she's saying that it's uncomfy? Oh no. But for some reason that night, this here Irishman spent the old journey right over me head. And for that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out, I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy with small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown in the clink. And McGilded says, well now. Okay, you got something to say, bitch? Excuse me. What the fuck did you want? Is there something wrong, Mr. McGilded? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Counsel? I was just wondering if Mrs. Strahd's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no. 'Twas nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass, is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. 'Twas terrifying, so it was. I see. Yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dog now. You're not scared. Aye, and I don't know about yourself, but I find that the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. Yeah. I suppose it does, maybe. Mr. Strahd, did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps? Nah, not really. All I could do was the Irishman snoring. Bejabbers! There's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, ye little scamp. What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. Yes. What should we make of that last statement of hers? It's profoundly important, because it's all we have. We're grasping at straws right now, I hate to admit. My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important? But all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is the profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it. I'm almost sure I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern mind, Counsel. Nevertheless, also that's kind of racist, Judge, you'll say that. Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating the last statement, please. What? Supplement? What you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. It won't work on me. That's right. Insult the judge. Always a good move. Yeah, don't do this. Hey, PSA, don't. Even if you're pissy, don't. They have the power over you. Sorry. I was straining my ears to work out what was going on, but all I could hear was snoring. No, that's terrible. I don't know why. You know what? I'm gonna workshop that later, too. I'm falling apart here. So, you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hit yourself? Not exactly, no. Huh? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just put the cushion up and have a butcher's to see what was what. But Then, when I saw the swell going on, it got me head down, so he didn't notice me. And Mr. McGilded sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah. Would you Adam and Eve it, eh? You mug. So then, all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out of there as soon as I heard him leave, see? But we? Not likely. Even though he stopped me in there, I never heard the door open. So I just had to stay put and listen to him driving pigs to market, stalling like a little dog he was. just talking. Are there any conclusions we could draw from that, I wonder? It doesn't add up. Yeah, because when would have the victim entered? Mrs. Lestrade, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. At odds? Are you sure, man? Absolutely. It seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. So Van Zieks realized it too. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some complicit party's name at the very least. Yes, my lord. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, while she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilded snoring. But think, Zinowski, think. Starts up. There's something else she should have heard. Show a person. Yeah. Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound very clearly explained by the presence of the following person. Yeah, it's a thrice-fired Mason entrance to the interior of the cabin, because how the hell did you get there? How the hell did he get there? He does look very sad. Rest in peace, man. Thrice-fired Mason? Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. Sorry about that. I had a phone call. I didn't know that the recorder was doing things. Anyway, yeah, back to this jam. Order! Order! Explain your reasoning, counsel. Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person to board the omnibus. Is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person on the board with the omnibus was Mr. McGilded. That it was. Not a soul in the cabin when I climbed on board. At least, not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time? Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure. And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time, you did not hear the door opening or closing at all. Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, weren't I? Waiting for this swell to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed. Lord Van Zieks? Yes, he knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more.
He's dead right. How could the victim possibly not have boarded on the omnibus? This makes no sense whatsoever.
And this girl is a pickpocket. Let's not forget that.
Oh, Grandma's ready to fucking punch it.
Grandma didn't say shit, she just went for... Grandma! She didn't even say anything. I know, I'm sorry.
I didn't want to judge the little dear mite just because she has some rather naughty ways, but I must say, I can't abide liars.
And neither can I. Mr. Foreman, I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars.
Honestly, Foreman, not gonna lie, you've been kind of wishy-washy and kind of like just looking around you and going with the flow. But you know what? Valid. Mr. Naruhodo, that's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty.
Van Zeke's not a celebratory toast. Fuck off. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. She actually drinks it, this motherfucker. Yes, very refreshing.
What are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Abadan?
Wow. This is kinda just perfect. Ew. Juror number 2 is the only one left.
Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going...
I know. If we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilda's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost.
I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen, but those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Gilda's crashing out, dude. Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying?
Counsel! I'm sorry, sir. Whatever do you mean?
Counsel, I will not tolerate your attempting to prorogue my adjudication. Prorogue? Explain yourself at once! When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand. And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. If this petty thief's words are to be believed. How do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. There's another entrance. If the door wasn't opened even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way. Objection. I wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all us to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with the door. The other has only windows. Fixed windows, which cannot possibly open. In short, There is no entrance to the cabin other than the door.
But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered.
Oh, really?
Yes. One other way inside that isn't the door.
Another opening, the which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. All right, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. Here is the omnibus in which the incident occurred. Where on earth is this entrance by which you propose the victim entered the cabin?
Skylight, 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 skylight. Yeah. There. Come on. Or take that.
The answer is obvious.